Hello everyone and welcome back to the 3T Path channel. My name is Giridhar Das and today I want to read to you a beautiful verse from the 6th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, which talks about this spiritual vision we must cultivate. Very important point. One of the great advantages of having a spiritual culture is to have this spiritual vision. So let's read first the verse in Sanskrit, then the translation, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. So here it goes. This is verse 29 of chapter 6, and it goes like this. Sarva bhutastam atmanam, sarva bhutani chatmani, ikshate yoga yuktatma, sarvatra samadarshina. Translation. With equal vision everywhere, the yoga-linked self sees self in all creatures and all creatures in self. I'll read that to you again because it might be a little hard to understand at first. With equal vision everywhere, samadarshina, equal vision everywhere. The yoga-linked self, the self which is yoga, which is connected to yoga, the yoga-linked self, sees Atma, sees self in all creatures and all creatures in self. Okay, so what does that mean? It's a very important point. With yoga, you develop the vision, the understanding that every living thing is a soul-powered body. Life is the symptom of the soul. If there is life, there is a soul. Simple concept. Just ask a biologist, is this thing alive? Yes? Okay, so there's a soul there. As soon as you identify that, biologically speaking, yes, that thing is alive, then there's a soul there. So you see that every living being has a soul. That's what makes it have life. Life is a symptom of the soul. Without life, you have dead matter. This is a very important concept because all of yoga is about understanding the difference between soul, spirit, and matter. Viveka, understanding the difference. This is the whole point of the Yoga Sutras. Have viveka, develop viveka, understand the difference between soul, between spirit, and matter. Why? Because you are now stuck within a material body, but you are not material. That's the whole point of yoga, is to understand that you are not your body. So you are a self different from the body, from matter. You're Atma and your body is Prakriti. So you want to distinguish soul from matter. But we want to make sure that when we look out, we're seeing bodies, we're seeing matter. That's what your eyes perceive. Your eyes can see things made of Prakriti, made of matter. But a yogi will understand that if there's life, then within that material machine, that body, whatever, if it's a human body, a tree body, a dog body, a goat body, whatever, a fly body, whatever kind of body, if there's life, then there's a soul animating. This term animus, animating, is a term for soul as well. If it's being animated, it's being animated by Atma, by a soul. So you see that, you understand that through your spiritual vision, that every living being is actually a soul. Why is that important? Because on the outside, we're all different. All the bodies are different. We're all different. Nobody's, even you have twins, I guess, but still they'll be a little different. But basically, all the bodies are different. So there's just different, and what to speak of, different humans, what to speak of different species. So there's all this difference out here. But with the spiritual vision, you get unity. And unity is so important. Let's just talk about unity within humans. The whole superpower of the human race. If you had to choose, what's the one superpower of the human race? It's our ability to work together. That's the superpower. That's what made it possible for humans to do everything they've achieved so far. It's because we can work together. You have to have unity to solve big problems. And right now, we need this more than ever, because right now, our society is getting fractured. We're having so much divisiveness. There's so much division, politics, races, countries, religions, so much division. And this division is very dangerous because right now we're facing big challenges of social media, challenges of AI, artificial intelligence, environmental crisis. These are huge challenges, and we need to work together to deal with these challenges. So this unity is essential for human beings. And speaking of environmental crisis, notice that the verse here says, and in other places of Bhagavad Gita, always you have this term, sarva bhuta. Not humans, but Bhuta means all living beings. So this equal vision of seeing all living beings. This means the trees and the birds and the frogs and the fish and all living beings, not just all humans. Having this equal vision, samadarshan, where you're having this equal, same darshan, same vision. You see them all as soul. And that brings you together. When you have a problem with someone, when you start developing some sort of issue, legal, whatever, what the tendency is for you to create a bigger and bigger separation between you and the group person you have a problem with. You keep increasing the gap. And that's what we're seeing in the world, like, between like people of different political inclinations and people in different countries and different religions in the Middle East. See this bigger and bigger gap because you keep increasing and valuing the differences and not the unity. And what this means is you increase the barbarity, like that your compassion decreases according to how much difference you're seeing. This is the key point of all violence, is seeing the difference. The more you do not identify with the other, the more free the person feels to commit violence. It's an interesting concept. That's why you'll see that historically, and it's happening right now, when you want to hate someone, when you want to like cause violence to another group, you increase the difference. You call them by names. You say that they're insects, they're bugs, they're a disease, you start using this kind of language to separate. They're not humans, they're no longer like part of my kind, they're not me, they're different. So you create these names to create more difference. And then the more difference you have, then the more, the less compassion you have, the more harm you can cause. Because it's like, it's like they've got nothing to do with me. But that's not the truth. The truth is that we're all Atma. We're all one. There's this unity. We're all together. And so we have to see this unity in everyone to tackle these problems. In this verse, there's two interesting word juggery, just two interesting ways Krishna uses words here. The first one is yoga yuktatma. It's very interesting because yukta is just from the word yoga. So yoga yuktatma just means that a soul yogad with yoga. He's connected, and so yoga is connection, so he's connected to the connection. A soul that's connected to the connection, that's what Krishna is saying. That's yogad to the yoga. It's very interesting, yoga yuktatma. And the other thing is that in Vedanta and Bhagavad Gita, Atma, the word Atma, serves as self, serves as the soul, but it serves as the individual soul as well as God, the super soul. So the word Atma can apply both to the individual soul, you and me, and also to the super soul, God, another name for God, Paramatma, super soul. So the Supreme Lord. So this verse is saying with equal vision everywhere, with the soul connected to yoga, with the soul connected to the connection, you can see God in all creatures and all creatures in God, or you can read it, you can see soul in all creatures and all creatures in God. So you can use it in these two ways. It's very interesting. So with this knowledge, we should go around, and this is a very good test of your spiritual advancement, is to see if you can go around seeing soul. You go around and you look at a tree, you look at a dog, you look at a person you don't like, you look at anyone, anywhere, and you see soul. You see Atma. You develop this Samadarshana. You want to have this equal vision of seeing soul everywhere, no matter what kind of body that soul is presently occupying, no matter what kind of mentality that soul is presently cultivating. you still see soul there, you see Atma, and you see the presence of God, because God is within every living being. It just changes the way you deal with people. It changes the way you deal with nature, with other creatures, because see God there, see soul there. Just as you have soul within you, you have God within you, see soul and God in everyone, and everyone in God. It's a beautiful verse. Let me know what you think. Leave your comments below and have your rest of your day with lots of peace and lots of love.